What is good, everyone, guys? Welcome back to Sheer Thoughts. How y'all doing, man? It's your boy Chuckzz here as always. And guys, you already know who I'm here with. You already see her. She chilling. She vibing. Miss Soni Panda. You know how it is. What's up, girl? How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good, I'm good.
That's good to
I'm
hear.
good. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good. Cold is starting to hit Jersey. It's annoying. It's cold. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I'm not a fan of
Yeah,
it.
don't get me started.
I'm over it.
Don't get me started.
But it's so crazy because I know you guys in England can be pretty cold. Like it can get pretty cold there, but we still get colder than you guys. So like y'all deal with the cold, but y'all don't deal with our cold. Like it's a little different
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's true.
It's a little
That's
different
true.
sometimes, okay? Like
Yeah.
and especially the past like however amount of years it's been like I came to realize last winter wasn't that cold. Like it wasn't that terribly cold. Like there were some days where it was actually pretty nice during the winter, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
Mm.
But then apparently they're saying this winter is going to be a rough one for us, and I've been here for the rough winters. It ain't fun. I don't like it. I don't like it,
Oh, I don't even like the sound of it,
bro.
so
It's literally like cold that hits your bones. Like that's the only way you can describe it. Like because
oh, see,
you'll
that's
literally be
horrible.
outside. You'll finally step into a warm area, and you're like, I'm still freezing. Like this isn't fair,
Yeah,
bro. This sucks.
yeah,
Like oh, I hate the cold. I don't like the cold. Uh,
yeah.
but yeah,
I
now that
hear
the
that.
cold is coming, man, it's time to stay a little warm, bundle up a bit, you know. Speaking
I
of
hear
so,
that.
because it like seems appropriate, what are you rocking? Because it looks like you got some thicker tights on that clearly is good for the cold.
Yeah.
It's a little freezing right now. But what you rocking today?
Trust
What you
me.
got on?
So I got the new Emerald Snuggle Me's on. So like I love the Snuggle Me anyway because it's like they're made out of cotton, like so they naturally keep you quite
Oh yeah,
warm
yeah.
and whatnot. But yeah, only because I've got a new jumper. And so I was like, oh, we'll go with the cream and emerald theme. So we're
I
like, yeah,
like it.
okay,
I
cool.
like
I'm
it. I
like,
like it.
yeah, yeah. But I decided to add a blanket today just because it's a bit cold.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
It's a bit cold.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, trust me, trust me. I'm not ready. I am not ready. I will never be ready for winter,
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
regardless of what people say.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. How about you, Chucks? Anyway, it looks like you're layering or got something thicker on, that's for sure.
I see, girl. This is how you know Sony's a real one. This is how you know she a real like tights queen out here. That she a real like she knows her stuff, man. I am layering, okay, because it's cold out here. Okay, got to rock on 2 pairs because it's freaking cold.
Mm.
I need to stay warm. Okay, I can't do it. All right, but I have on, which also I wanted to throw it on just to see how it would look like. So I feel like from your angle, it looks gray, but then it
Yeah.
also I feel like there's also different parts that like looks brownish. I don't know, but pretty much what it is the bottom pair is a black pair of I want to say Omero. I think they're Omero. I forgot exactly
Oh
which
yeah.
ones. But I think it's a black pair of Omero, and then the top pair are the Wolford Fatal 15s.
Ah,
So you know,
okay,
so it's not
right.
really giving a shine. It's giving more of a matte look, of course. But
Yeah.
it also looks like gray. But then I also feel like it looks brown. I don't know. I just looks like a whole little
I
weird
mean, to be
combination.
fair, I don't see brown. I see more sort of grey.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Word. Then there you go.
Yeah.
We're going gray
Yeah.
today. There you go. Speaking of gray,
Yeah. It looks
hold,
good.
bro. Speaking of gray, I was shocked about this. I was like, how did this happen? Did you see my reel? Where I was like, I literally said I was like my version of feeling gray, and it was literally I had layered a white pair of nylons over a black pair of nylons, and it obviously gave like a shiny gray look. Um, girl, I don't know what happened, but my reel got like 17K views. I was, I
Nice.
was like, where did all these views come from? I was like, and mind you, it was a repost that I was like, this is from like my TikTok that I made a while ago. I was like, how do I have 17K views right now? I have no idea how it happened.
That's incredible.
I was like, okay. I was like, the gray
We'll take that.
works. I was like, the gray look works evidently. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take it. Cool. I ain't mad.
No, that's pretty amazing to be
I
fair.
couldn't believe it, bro. uh, Sony, I had to ask you something.
Mm.
Have you been watching any new shows lately?
Yeah, quite a few. I've been binging a bit recently
Okay,
because yeah, I haven't been in the mood to do shoots or anything, and
fair
I've
enough. Fair
only
enough.
recently done the new launch, so I was like, well, thank God the launch is now done. I can now just like chill a little bit.
Yeah, I hear you. I
But
hear you.
yeah, yeah, no, there's a good few shows. Yeah.
So what have you been watching?
Oh, okay, okay. Are we gonna try and see if we're watching the same thing?
I mean, that'd be funny to see.
Okay, so I finished Bodies.
Okay.
Bodies was one that was like highly recommended. Obviously here in the UK. I've just finished watching the last season of Elite. Um,
Oh, I heard about
now,
that one. I never saw it, but it looks interesting to me.
yeah, honestly, do you know what? Especially the first few seasons were really good. I can't rate the last one as much if I'm honest because they kind of switched it up from like how they normally do it.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, it's still like I watch it because I'm that flipping invested in it. I'll be wrong if I don't. Um, Obviously, I watched the Beckham thing when it came out.
That was
Um,
good. I actually
that was really good.
that I didn't realize how much of like that his life or like what he's been
Mm,
through, what he's done. Like, listen, man, you'd be so surprised.
yeah, honestly, I'm glad I watched it. One because I love Victoria Beckham as it is anyway. She was always my favorite Spice Girl, but it was very interesting to see his life. You best believe I constantly swore at the TV at one point. But yeah, it was really insightful, really insightful. And then God, what? No. Oh my God. I swear we've started something and I can't remember what it is. There's there's something else. Do you know there's that much on my Netflix in my watch list to the point everything now merges. If you ask me to tell you a storyline about it, I'll give you two different complete series that have merged into one. Um, there is something else that I've started and I can't think what it is, but yeah. Th- No, oh my God, what the hell was it called? It's a movie. Is it Fair Game or something? Game. It's
Do you know who's
it's
in it?
basically got to do with no, but it's got to do with basically a couple who work in either a banking sector or like a Wall Street type of thing, and they're both going for the same type of role, but I don't even want to give like too much away, but sod it, whatever. I'm sorry, spoiler alert. If
There you go.
if it's
As long
if the
as you
movie,
say
how can
spoiler
we
alert,
say?
that's fine.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Um, I probably could even be getting the title wrong if I'm honest, but it's something along the lines of that. But basically, the chick gets it, and then the boyfriend ends up resenting her. There's a whole thing about it, and it's literally, and that's why I keep thinking, is it called Fair Game? Because it's something. It's basically there's competition between the boyfriend and girlfriend, and it ain't that great, and it's just. It was actually a really, really good watch, to be honest.
Interesting. Okay.
Um, yes, we did that. Yeah, but they're the only ones that stick out. Like I said, everything merges in my head, and I'm not really good at title names unless they're like been amazing. Then yeah, otherwise no, they just merge.
Fair enough.
What about you? Now I'm interested to hear yours.
uh, so I started to watch this new anime on Netflix called Pluto. It actually does look pretty interesting to me. Um, the whole thing
Okay.
behind it is that it's like in a futuristic world. There are androids out there that are used for different things. So then you have androids that are like cooking, cleaning, whatever, blah blah blah. But then you got androids that are like
Mm.
policemen. You have androids that will do like certain things or whatever. But then the whole thing is the main detective of the show is an android himself. But he
Oh
looks
wow.
but he looks like a human. Like, so he walks around, talks like a human, looks like a human being, but he's actually an android. So he has like a chip inside of him, like all this crazy shit. So there's apparently all these androids getting killed and they don't understand why. And they know someone's like behind it, but they're like trying to figure it out. And then like this one scene which really caught me, it was the whole thing is like in an android's programming is they can't ever kill a human, but they can obviously protect themselves and stop a human. And it was
It's
really,
like iRobot.
yeah, essentially. But it was really crazy because then they start watching back the video from saved from the robot, and then he gets attacked, and then they were like, wait, why didn't he stop the attack? And like out of the corner of his eye, the robot happened to focus on something jumping out of a window from a building like 70 stories high. So the detective is like, what the fuck is that? And then that's starting to like lead into, okay, so clearly this person's involved with killing, but they're not human if you're jumping like that. They clearly are like an android, but they still can't figure out what the shape is. So I'm like, this shit is crazy. Like the fucking tension, the surprises is wild. It's really fucking good. So I'm like only like 3 episodes in, because I'm like, okay, I gotta make sure I can like sit there and like really watch it, because it's like, oh, this is like detective shit. You gotta really watch. And then I'm watching The Fall of the House of Usher, which is crazy. Like, that's fucking insane.
I think that's on my list.
That's insane.
I think that's on my list.
That shit is insane. Like, I did not expect. Like, it's crazy because it's like a Final Destination, but just focused on a family.
Oh my god.
So yeah, like that's literally the best way I can explain it. Because you know everyone knows about Final Destination. Oh, you're gonna go in the fucking thing. Yeah. Oh, something's broken with it. They're gonna fucking die. Oh, they went and decided to go do this thing. Something went wrong with it. They're gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's real because I've never seen the Final Destination movies. I never saw them back in the day. They never piqued my interest. I've never seen them. I'm not like a horror movie suspense killer. I'm not. Like, I prefer to watch like comedy movies. I prefer to watch like action movies. Like, that's just always how I've been. But of course there are always like classic movies, like classic horror ones. Of course I've seen Halloween, Friday the 13th, like all of those are classics. But the Final Destination ones I've just always thought stupid, because it was like the whole purpose is that they're just gonna die. Like, you know they're gonna die. Yeah. I'm just like, whatever. So of course the jokes come of it of how they die, but then I'm like, you know, it's stupid, whatever. But I was like, all right. But this one is like, this show is like that. Like, this show reminds me of like a Final Destination, but with a warning. So like that's the thing. It's like like I'm trying to say it without really saying it. Like, there are warnings, but it's how you want to heed a warning.
Okay,
you
get
know?
you.
So it's like, but it's interesting. It really is interesting. And then the direction is very good. There's actually there's one part where it's really not like a spoiler or anything. It's just a really great fucking scene. The whole thing is that the reason why it's called the Fall of the House of Usher, it's because it's this guy who's like a multi-billionaire who built this company, blah blah blah, family getting targeted. So, you know, it's one of those typical stories, but it's how everything goes along that you're like, this shit is crazy. Like, it's and it's really wild, because it's not even like it's not even like it's a oh, you know, they just happen to be this way. It's like when it like there's one part that happens where you're like, okay, we knew that was coming, but the other part, the first part that happens, and I'm not trying to give it away, you're like, oh, okay, cool. Oh shit, that is worst case scenario. What the fuck? And like, it's fucking crazy. So that's where it throws you for these twists that you're like, oh shit, okay. Like, damn. Holy shit, it's wild. So there's one part where it did make me laugh, because one thing I've really come to notice with shows too is, obviously an actor is like, you know, great to be an actor, selling the role, playing that part, but you know, you always got to remember when what they're speaking is the writers. So it's someone else who thought this up of like what this person's gonna say. It's obviously the actor's job to sell it, which is fair. But oh, there's a really, really good part of writing in one of the scenes that I thought it was fucking hilarious, because of course the main guy in the show is a businessman. He's about making his money. He has his empire. So it was funny. He's like, you know how the saying goes, when you have lemons, you make lemonade. That's the
Mm,
saying.
mm.
He goes, he's talking to some lawyer or like a prosecutor, and he goes, you know the saying, when you have lemons, and the prosecutor goes, you make lemonades. The guy just snaps, and he goes, no, you make sure that you control the lemon market. You make sure that you control every part of it, that the only thing that matters is lemons, that everything around it revolves around lemons, that lemons is the most
It
important
out.
thing at the wedding, that you make lemons become such an icon that you convince Apple to turn their logo into lemon. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, yo,
Wow.
bro, this scene is so genius, and everything he's saying makes sense. It's like, yo, son, you're not. And then he hits everything.
Exactly.
You sell organic lemons at 40% higher. You sell at non whatever lemons at 50% higher. You make lemons the entirety of everything, and then when you oh, you then make lemon the word of everything is cool. That movie was Lemon. This is Lemon. I was like, yo, this man is hitting every fucking possible
Oh
category
my
that you
God.
could think of in a business standard just off
Yeah.
lemons. What?
Yeah.
That shit is crazy, bro.
Wow.
And then of course he went through all that, and the prosecutor just sat there. I was like, obviously, bro.
Oh gosh.
Son, could you imagine, like, you come up to someone and be like, yeah, bro, this is my business idea, or
Yeah.
this is something, and he's like, cool, we're gonna control every little thing about it.
Wow. That is something.
I was like,
Oh
what?
my God.
I was like, what the shit? I was like, this is fucking crazy, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I was like, oh, I'm so sold on this show. I was like, that was fucking genius.
Okay, I definitely need to watch it.
It's actually so good. It really is good, and there really are like twists and turns that really do catch you. Um, there are quite a bit of funny moments. There's always like a bit of family drama. Like, it's good. It's really fucking good. It's very funny. I can see, and it's crazy because of course, like certain like Rotten Tomatoes or like IGN, they'll like rate shows. They'll do their little reviews. Um, they gave it like a 10. I think like IGN gave it a 10. And it's like,
Oh
oh,
wow,
like,
okay.
but then of course, that's everyone's own opinion. Someone could be like, oh, well, I didn't like this. I don't think it's a 10.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
regardless, the fact that someone still gave it a high enough rating that it's like, okay, there's clearly elements of the show
Yeah.
that make it a really good fucking show. That I'm like, I gotta definitely check it out. And I literally started watching it the other day, and I'm like, yo, this shit is dope, bro. I was like, this is actually a very good show. The direction, the acting, the writing, it's very good. You can really enjoy it and appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, and I'll definitely start that considering I don't know what I've started. So I'll start that instead,
I've
doing
heard
look
of
at that.
Bodies though. I know I've heard of Bodies.
Honestly, it's you have to pay attention
Yeah, I feel
because
like.
it flits from like the 1800s, then to the 1900s, then to about 2023, I think, or
Oh
something,
wait,
and
isn't
then
that the one?
2054,
Oh my
and
god,
it's the
yes,
same
yes, yes,
body.
yes, yes. Oh
Yeah,
shit, that's why I was like, that's why I know it. Oh, you
yeah,
saw that one?
yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah.
So it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it because I like the whole concept of like time travel and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that and
yeah.
everything. And because don't get me wrong, there's parts you can if you don't hear it, if you miss it, it's like, oh my God, you have to go back and watch it it's because you need to make sense of it. So it's one of those, you can't just like have it on in the background. It's kind of like, nah, everything links with something. And then it's like the way history repeats itself. And
Yeah.
honestly, one thing I love was just costumes, how they did 1800s and the 1900s. Oh my
That
God.
must have been
I
cool,
was
yeah.
just I was like in my element watching it. I was like, this is incredible. But I think it is really cool. There's a lot of people like, oh, I'm really left confused. I don't get what's going on. I had to stop it because there was too much flitting. But this is the thing. If you're with it, you'll understand why they flit then and then yeah, it's great. I think it's actually really great. I like that kind of stuff. So Yeah, I think it's definitely a good watch. But
Interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Because it that one caught me too because I remember the whole thing of like every body has the same mark or some shit like that. Yeah.
It's the same guy. It's the same guy that they show in every so in the four thingies, in the four different time periods, it's the exact same guy with the exact same markings.
Oh, so he's a time traveler.
He could be or not.
Mystery.
Mm. I don't want to give
Okay.
anything away,
Okay.
but
No,
yeah, it is good.
that's
It
caught
is
my
good.
interest. Especially because it's so true that it's like, hey, like it's oh god, that really is like a mind fuck because then you're sitting there like, okay,
Mm,
who's this guy? He left a mark on his body. You know, this is 1800s science,
mm,
forensics that doesn't exist like that. All right, fine, whatever. Then the
yep.
1900s come around and it's like, son, this was like a rumor of a death years ago, you know? Now all of a sudden it's happened again. But now this time, a
Mm,
little bit better science, a little bit better forensics. It's like, that's crazy. But then all of a sudden you hit in the 2000s and you're like, okay, this is fucking happening
yeah,
again. There's only so many coincidences in the world. It's the exact same fucking motive, it's the exact same
yeah.
fucking symbol. Now we have better forensics. Let's look into this. Why can't we figure this shit out? And then, so it's like, I can only
Mm-hmm.
imagine how much of a mind trip that should be going then. Oh, so does that
Yeah.
mean? Oh, so wait, does that mean like as an episode is going, they'll hit different time? No, oh shit, that's dope. Oh, I thought
Yep.
it was like
Yep.
I thought episode 1 was like only 1800s, and I thought maybe
No.
episode 2 was only 1900s. Oh,
No.
they constantly times jump.
They always
Ah,
jump.
that's so
They
dope.
always jump. And that's why so many people get confused with it because if you're
Yeah.
not if you're not invested in it and actually like watching everything, you can easily miss parts and you're like, well, wait, hold on a second, why have we gone back or why have we gone
Oh
forward or what's going on
shit.
now?
Okay.
So confusion is like it can easily happen. But yeah, honestly, I loved it. I thought it was really great the way that they had done it and stuff. I thought it was
Nah,
something really
bro.
different.
Yeah,
So
that sounds dope. That sounds very fucking dope. And I
mm,
like that because I like that you're constantly going back and forth. Like I enjoyed like
yeah.
because you love The Witcher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but The
It's
Witcher,
hard to get into,
but The
but
Witcher
yeah.
first season was so confusing, so
Oh,
confusing.
it
The
was.
the
It
time
was.
skips there was super confusing. But it's different because obviously with this show you can blatantly tell what time period it is. But
Mm, mm.
that's cool because as long as like yes, this may have been 1800s, but then it'll jump to 2042. But it's like okay, but does it flow into one another? Like, can it still
Yeah.
connect? And if
Yeah.
they can make that work, that's when it's fucking good. That's when I'm like, okay, you got
Yeah.
me. Okay, you got me. Is that on Hulu? Am I not mistaken?
No, that's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix. I don't know why I thought it was on Hulu.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm gonna have to check it out though. Wait, is it a movie? No, it's a show.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just a
Oh,
series. I think it's
I'm so
six
stupid.
or
That's
eight
right. Yes, that's
episodes.
right. Now I just remembered. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Bodies on Netflix. Yes, because I think they called it like a limited series or some shit like that.
I think so. But all we saw was number one UK. We're like, okay, okay,
Fair enough. Yeah.
calm down. We'll watch it. So yeah, yeah. So I definitely rate that. I definitely rate that. And it was like, no, no, I can't. No, I thought another show I'd watched, and I don't think I've watched it. No, no, never mind. See, that's what I mean. I hate it. I just hate it. Sometimes I watch too much, and then you're like, what's happening?
So
Like,
I got a question for you though, because so you know different countries, you know obviously
mm.
doing different things. So I gotta ask you, growing up as a kid though, when you were growing up as a kid, did you ever like come home to like watch TV after school for a little bit?
um, yeah, we kind of did. Yeah, not like plonk in front of the TV for the rest of the evening
No,
because
no, yeah,
naturally
yeah,
being girls as well. Yeah, it was kind of, oh, we need your help in the kitchen, like go get dressed and like or go get changed and go help your mom in the kitchen and blah blah blah. So it was a mixture of like, yeah, we would game a lot. Like me and my sister would game a lot. We'd love GTA and like Need for Speed and stuff
Wow.
back in the
Let's
day.
go. Okay.
Yeah, and we used to do like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, the works. We did all that. And yeah, but then it got to the stage was I think we had a really kind of we had a decent upbringing in the sense of like we were taught no, like go and play in the garden, go for a bike ride, go outdoors, don't sit inside all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we had moments where it was just yeah, look, we can have a bit of TV time, but don't sit there and be there for the sake of being there
No,
kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
We were very active in stuff. And if it was like game time, like look, 1 or 2 hours on the PlayStation, and be like, okay, cool. Look, now we've got other things to do. Let's go out. Let's go do this. So we had a well-rounded kind of like upbringing in that sense. So
Fair
yeah,
enough. Fair enough.
yeah,
Fair enough. Okay.
yeah.
No, because I was gonna say like so it was like known like growing up around here. It was like
Mm,
you'd get out of school, you'd go home, you'd like watch a little TV like before you do homework or you relax after school, and
mm.
it was like there was always that block that you knew that it was like Pokemon the show,
Oh,
um
Pokemon.
like bro, but then it's so funny because I remember being a kid and I remember waking up early to get ready for school before I went to school just so I could watch these two
Oh yeah.
like but it was so because then it would be like the thing you talk about so like you'd be up by like 6:50 in the morning just so you could watch an episode of Pokemon and an episode of Digimon or then because my
Oh
school
yeah,
didn't start oh
Digimon.
hell yeah and then my school didn't start until 8:40 and where I lived
Mm.
I could literally make it to my elementary school in 10 minutes less than that because I lived like
Oh, okay.
right near it. So I was able to watch uh Pokemon, Digimon, and fucking Transformers Beast Wars. That was my shit.
Oh
Oh, I
wow.
fucking loved it. Bro,
Oh
I used to
wow.
remember waking up like, oh god, I just want to wake up just to watch this. Like I was like, this is great. This is a great way to start the day. I'm gonna go to school, whatever. But I had
Yeah.
to watch my shows. And then if you
No, to
missed
be
it,
fair, that's a vibe.
and then if you missed it in the morning, you then would come out of school and at least be able to catch Pokemon and Digimon right after school.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. At least you
Ah,
had the second opportunity.
I
God.
was like, bro. And then as I got older, like when I was in like my teen years, it would then be like I'd watch TV with like my aunt a lot or whatever. Like we just hang out watching TV. But
Mm.
then there was always that block. I don't know if you guys had it, but at one point the block here for Channel 11, WB11 was fucking Will and Grace, Friends, Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, yeah, so we've got it as like for God's sake, obviously now it's like Comedy Central, but what did we have it before? I can't remember, but it was the same thing. Cause yeah, it was the whole Will and Grace. Yeah, then Friends. But I didn't watch Everybody Loves Raymond though. But
It
then I
wasn't
would be
super
like
my
Fresh Prince
thing,
of Bel
yeah.
Air.
Yes.
I'd be like
Yes.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I'd be like Sister Sister, and yeah, I would do all those. They were
Do you
like
know
Nickelodeon and the kiddie channels.
do you know Clarissa Knows All?
No,
Oh my god. That's
no,
that's where Melissa Joan Hart started. So before
no,
before Sabrina
really?
the Teenage Witch, she did this Nickelodeon show called Clarissa Knows
Ah,
All. That's why it's like, yo, bro, like she was one of those actresses that it was like, oh shit, like you saw her go from like a kid show to like a teen show to then like acting in other
yeah.
things. Like it was crazy, bro. But yeah, she fucking did this show on Nickelodeon called Clarissa Knows All. And like that's where she fucking started.
Ah,
It's so
yeah.
crazy.
No, I didn't know that. I just thought it was Sabrina because I loved her in Sabrina, and then yeah.
She
But
had
you know
a
what? There were
she
so
had a
many shows.
very successful acting career like early on. Like
Yeah.
very because Clarissa Knows All, even if it was only for like one season, it was like you knew it. Like people like knew the show. Like you it was one
Mm,
of those shows that always played. So they blatantly like did pretty well. And then you go on to then go do Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Wild. That's
mm,
fucking crazy. That's
yeah.
that's great. That's a great
Yeah, cause
career.
yeah, cause I remember because obviously when I used to love her, I used to like love Britney Spears. I was just Britney Spears and then Sync and Backstreet Boys and it was that era and Spice Girls are my number one. Um, but I remember she came in the end of Britney's video one time and I'm like, oh my God, That was Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Oh my god, what is she
Oh
doing here? And it
snap!
was like the biggest thing. What flipping song was it? I know the video. I can picture the video because I remember seeing her at the end because I was like, I love her hair and I want to do my hair like hers now because I've seen it like that. But yeah, I can't remember. But she came in a Britney Spears video and I literally thought she was made. But then after I never saw this girl again. I was like, she just dropped off. And I'm like, I've never seen her again in anything. So it's a bit weird.
That's wild. That's
Yeah.
and it's like it's so crazy because when you have those like connections like that, like it's oh my god,
Mm.
it's so insane. Because I remember like oh god, I don't know. I feel like we've talked about it before or whatever, but the show All That. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh, see, I never watched it. I've
Mm-hmm.
heard of it. I've never watched it.
But yeah, like it's so crazy when you find out like people who came out of that to then go on do
Yeah.
other things. You're like, yo, it's like good for y'all, bro. Like that is
Yeah.
unbelievable. Especially like that's why I always get like so thrown off because so many people will like tell me like, oh, you don't know this person? They came from Disney or they came from Glee, and I'm like, but
Yeah.
I never saw that shit. Like it just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
So for
Yeah.
me, it's more like, oh, like I seen them in this. But then of course you always wonder, like, man, where did they start? Where did they come from? Like, good for them. But then I'd be so
Mm.
surprised when I then find out that fucking like, a lot of like I for a long time I never realized that like Zendaya was like a Disney kid until someone like told me like
Yeah.
years later. Um,
Yeah.
like a few others or whatever. Like obviously, like I knew Sabrina Carpenter because of Girl Meets World because it's like you were gonna
Mm.
watch it because of Boy Meets World growing up. Like that was our thing. Like it's so crazy, bro. Like I cannot believe that shit. It's wild, man.
Oh, proper nostalgia.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
and memory lane there a little bit. Yeah. But I have to admit, like I did, you know what? That's one thing I do rate is like I like the shows that we
Mm-hmm.
had growing up because it felt like you can obviously like I get it now. Obviously, there are shows out there that where like teens now can connect to it if they really want to, but the messaging is always different. Like I find like when we were growing up, it wasn't like there wasn't like, for instance, like a lot of skin on show. That wasn't the done thing. The
Mm-hmm.
whole done thing was what message can you get across, and it was about this or it was about this. It was kind of like it was really nice
Yeah.
in that era. It's like how we always say, like the music back then was like you want to fall in love, like you want to have that deep, meaningful relationship, love, and experience what the singers are singing about. Compared to now, it's like, yeah, it ain't about that. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So I do feel like I preferred it back in the day because the messaging and everything that was going on, whether it be music, TV shows, whatever, kind of had very similar stuff, if not like pretty much the same kind of messaging that was going on. But yeah, yeah. Oh, the good old days.
Oh yeah. No, you're right though. Like that. Like
Yeah.
it's. But then at the same time, it's also like things nowadays are so much more sensitive in certain ways that bro I'd be thinking about
Mm,
half the TV shows or half the movies that came out just within the past like 10 years. You're like, bro, half of these movies would get so canceled so fast, like just because of like
yeah.
just the most stupidest fucking joke or the most like I don't know, bro, like the whole thing of it's like I get it, like I'm like I consider myself a very empathetic person, but at the same time I also know how to just make jokes about things. Like, but I'm not making it in the sense of that it's a joke thing that it's like it's so bad that I'm laughing at it. It's just that you know how to
Mm,
be able to make comedy out of things. And then that's where I think the
yeah.
biggest problem is. Like, bro, nowadays, like God forbid you say something, God forbid something's in a TV show or like whatever a certain way, and like it gets twisted around or fabricated into something, like that's crazy to me, bro.
Mm,
Like that's one of the worst things I think that could ever happen. And that shit sucks. But
mm,
that's why I think like bro, that's why it was so funny because um the UK is way more open with what you guys put on TV and stuff like that. Like I've come to realize because you guys had the show Skins, and I got very into the show because I thought Skins was like a really
yeah.
good show. I thought it was wild, like the whole concept of it. Um, but it's literally about teenagers just fucking sex, drugs, drinking. Like it's just crazy shit, bro.
Mm.
Skins was in America for one season, and that was it. They were like, nope, this is too much, can't do it, because their
No
first. Oh my
way.
god, yeah, they literally made an American version of Skins and had if I'm not even mistaken, I don't even think they had one full season, and it was like they were done. Like it was too much.
Whoa.
Yeah, like they were like, this is too much for American television. But I think it's because they also do realize, like, that's why like Euphoria is such a great show, because it really does hit like social shit of what goes on now. Like,
Mm.
half the people in the show fucking vape. All the teenagers like vaping.
Oh, get
Um,
you. Yeah.
like it's like one of the girls on the show like does like fucking live cam shows, making money off of it.
Oh,
She's a
wow.
fucking teenager. Like that shit
Wow.
happens, bro. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
So it's wild that like it's funny when people be talking about certain shows nowadays, because I'll be looking at them like, all right, well, you looking at the show in the sense of like, oh, it's fucked up because it's showing this like wrong stuff to society, or are you showing it as like, yo, bro, they're trying to tell you this is what's going on. So if you got a problem with it, you probably might want to try
Yeah.
to do something about it on your own end. Because if the
Yeah.
TV show is pointing this out, that's not a good thing. Like, it's just not a good thing, bro.
Mm. No, that's one thing. Like, yeah, I vouch for that. That's one thing that like I do like about our I like for instance like our soaps and stuff that we have like with Emmerdale, Coronation Street, EastEnders, and all that.
Oh my God,
They're
yes.
very um on point in the sense that I remember when we started having the whole acid attack stupid scenario that we used to have.
Oh
They
shit.
would touch upon that. And yeah, at one point it was you'd be terrified to go to Notting Hill Carnival, right? And it's the biggest thing that goes on because everybody gets together. It's not just like, yeah, basically every walk of life tends to go to this thing, right? But it got to a stage where people just throw acid at people. It doesn't matter. It's like they would even come up to your car. Because even at one point there was warnings about like don't open like just don't roll down your window to talk to strangers. Because naturally the thing you would do is if someone's asking you for help, you'll roll down your window a bit to be like, look, are
Yeah.
you okay? People would just attack you with acid. People like were too scared to open their doors because people would just ring the doorbell, chuck acid in someone's face and run off. So they were so on point, and like with trends like that, with whatever was going on, especially with like London stabbings and everything like that, they put that into their shows and make it so current. It's actually very
Oh,
scary to
yeah.
see it in a show where it's kind of that's your fantasy world kind of thing that you kind of go off and watch, and it's like, well, actually they're now bringing it back home. And it's a bittersweet thing because you think, oh my god, like I rate it because I think it's amazing that they do that. But then it's also it's exactly how I said, it's scary the fact that they're now showing this and be like, yeah, look, this goes on. Like this goes on in wherever it may be, UK, worldwide, wherever. But it is just, yeah, it sucks, man. But I kind of rate it, the fact that they are
No,
bringing
yeah, that's for
like the
sure.
attention to it. So yeah,
No, that is smart.
crazy.
That is smart. Cause that's the thing too, bro. Sometimes people just don't want to accept that shit, and you're like, bro, this should be happening out here, man. It's
Mm,
it's crazy. Like it's fucking insane, bro. Like that's why
mm,
that's why I find it so insane when people like really like don't like learn or like understand, like when like they make
yeah.
shows about certain things that like, yo, bro, they're trying to show you this for a reason, bro. Like that's the thing. Like you'd be so
Mm,
surprised, man. Like it's funny because there's a lot of like alien documentaries out there, but then
all of them.
there have been ones that have come out in the past few years that I'm like, a little hard to deny this shit, bro. Like I don't know about it,
Mm,
man. I'm just saying. Like
mm.
makes you wonder. It just makes you wonder. But
No, it does. It does. I always find like at the end of the day, whether it be a movie or some sort of TV show, a series or whatever, the ideas come from somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's like how I say about alien documentaries. I
mm,
believe there are aliens here, like that walk among us, that like that that do come visit from wherever they're coming from. But it's the fact that like yeah, one, there is life out there, whether you choose to believe it or not. But it's also like even like with COVID and everything, and everybody had like predicted this ages ago to be like it's gonna it's gonna happen, blah blah blah. And it's just I always find, especially with the weird ones where you think, no way, this is a bit too like too close for comfort. And it's like those ideas come from somewhere. Just know the fact that they've not plucked that out of thin
uh,
air. They've come from somewhere. So yeah, I feel like there is truth to stuff like this, but it's just I think people it's just they choose to be ignorant and they're like, nah, nah, of course not. Rather than actually like there could be aliens right among us and we don't even know, kind of thing. So I realize I now need to get the lights out, Chucks. This is a sad time when it's this time of year. It's not even 5 p.m. on my side, and it's dark as heck.
I hate
Looking
this.
like 8 p.m.
I
outside.
hate this because that I started to. So obviously we hit daylight savings yesterday, and I was like, ugh, here it fucking comes, bro. I was like, here it comes,
Honestly.
and I started noticing it yesterday too because I was like driving around or whatever, and I'm like, bro, it is 2:30 and the sun is down, like as if this shit is like almost 6 p.m. right now. I was like, I'm hating
Yep.
this. I am hating this. I hate this shit.
Honestly. A
Oh
part of me is
god.
like, oh, should I get my lights out today? And I was like, nah, it should be all right, actually. It's been quite a sunny day. Hopefully it'll stay. No. So now it's going to have to be, yeah, my constant lights are going to be out. So, God.
I,
Apologies, people watching. You would have seen the gradient from nice and light and bright to what the hell is going on here? Are we doing a night show? We might as well be.
but you know,
God.
and you know what truly makes me laugh is that I was literally just sitting here thinking to myself, yo, it got shadowy over there for Sony.
Yeah, got reflections in my glasses and everything now. It's this is why you know what, I can list off a whole long list of reasons why I don't like winter. I try to be positive. I always try to be positive in life, but it's so hard to do when there are so many cons
Oh,
about winter, and this is
man,
one of them.
man, don't get me started. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you
Honestly,
mean.
honestly,
It's crazy.
bloody ridiculous. Anyway, enough whinging. God. Jeez.
I was gonna say, guys, I think that's a good way to end the episode for today. You know, since we don't want to
We
let
don't like winter.
we don't want to let the darkness consume Sony, so we'll let her go. You know, it'll be fine. But I mean, now Sony knows. You know, we gotta start getting these lights out, which is yeah, bro. Winter's coming. We all know this. It's gonna be a cold, cold time, bro. It's gonna be a dark time. It's okay. We're gonna get through it. We got this, guys. Come on.
Yep.
We're gonna be good. We're gonna get through this
Yep.
winter. We're gonna be all right. Just just stay warm. God, just stay warm.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. But as always, guys, appreciate y'all. Much love as always. We'll see y'all next week. Guys, y'all take care. As always, man, much love. We'll see y'all later.